Monkey D. Dragon and Nerona Imu. I believe these two individuals have met even before Sabo confronted and exposed the empty throne is not so empty, with Ivankov confirming Nerona Imu is from the Void Century. But it is not just because of Dragon recently confirming to Kuma in his flashback that he used to be a Marine, it's also because of Imu's first appearance holding Dragon's Son wanted poster as he stared at an even bigger Straw Hat, believed to belong to Joy Boy, especially after recently chapter having Joy Boy next to Emmett the Iron Giant look way bigger than Luffy when he was next to the Emmett the Iron Giant. But let's not get sidetracked. It's also because Dragon, the most wanted man, didn't have his picture cut like Blackbeard, Shirahoshi, aka the Poseidon, and of course Dragon's son Luffy during Imu's scene during the reverie, or Imu staring at Lily's picture like Joe from You and being upset with Vegapunk for exposing the truth. But if I'm being honest, it's the iconic panel from One Piece chapter 1121, where Dragon is literally staring at Imu. It made me decide to do my extra own research into what Dragon truly knows and what will happen when they meet again in the One Piece story. During Monkey D. Dragon's debut in the series, it's him realizing his son Luffy chose to be a pirate instead of a Marine like he and his father, the hero of the Marines, Monkey D. Garp, did. But there's also a deeper meaning behind this, because Joy Boy being the first pirate and Vegapunk recently announcing it, and with Dragon having close ties with fellow Willie D member Clover, so much to even sought out Nico Robin before the time skip only makes me think he knows Joy Boy was the first pirate as well. Then there's the fact that we have a statement on these things cannot be stopped, an inherited strength of will, one's dreams, the ebbs and flows of the ages. As long as people hunger for freedom, these things will exist. Gold, Roger, king of the pirates, same man who learned the truth of the Void Century, Willie D, and of course Joy Boy's treasure, the One Piece. And with Dragon being there during Roger's execution and knowing his father Garp had such a close relationship with Roger that Roger considered him like one of his crew members, it only leads me to believe Roger and Dragon spoke before the Pirate King's untimely death. And this scene could cause the One Piece fandom as we know it to of course shake to its core. And what better way than have this be revealed during Dragon and Imu's meeting for the second time. So yeah, that debut of Dragon definitely said 1,000 words to me, especially with all the info revealed in the Egghead Island arc. Garp officially reveals Dragon to be Luffy's dad, and to the shock of everyone, not only because of Luffy but also his ties with Garp. But the biggest takeaway I got was the reverie that happened 6 years ago during Chopper's flashback predicted the future, because Dragon now is considered to be the worst criminal in the world, aka the world's most wanted man, and with criminals like Shanks, Big Mom, and Kaido all having bounties of 4 billion berries plus. And then don't forget Whitebeard was still alive with his 5 billion berry bounty plus as well. It only makes sense for Dragon to be minimum the second highest bounty of all time, only behind the Pirate King Gold D. Roger. So Imu definitely sees Dragon and his activities to take down the world government through the revolution as a huge threat. After Enies lobby, we see the revolutionaries celebrating another kingdom taken down, in which Dragon tells them to chill out, this is a war, showing how far into the future Dragon is thinking with his strategies. Of course, taking down Imu and the Gorosei, the top of the world government, like we recently just saw Dragon hyping up CP0 getting stronger, and Wano had Guernica involved with Luffy versus Kaido, and even the Gorosei knew they lost a great agent. And then of course Egghead Island had Lucci and Kaku, who both awakened their double ability, who of course elevated from CP9 to CP0. We also had Dragon mention the Holy Knights, and with Figure Garland the commander already being hyped up on God Valley as one of the strongest characters, and with this Shanks brother theory being a big one in the One Piece community because of the silhouette we've seen on the Hidden Swordsman at the end of chapter 1121. The amazing panel all about the One Piece. I'm not surprised why Dragon doesn't celebrate these little wins. We then get to see Dragon's reaction to Luffy getting a name for himself after defeating Crocodile and Alabasta, and of course the Enies Lobby incident, and of course the connection of Luffy and Garp now being a public phenomenon, Dragon truly wants Luffy to have the most freedom to even question the world and dictate in his eyes what's wrong and what's right. And with him also speaking on them meeting in the future, and Oda announcing the final saga after Wano, and Luffy causing the Egghead Island incident as a Yonko, it's only a matter of time before Dragon and Luffy meet. And I personally want it to be during the final war when Imu gets involved. When Luffy told the most wanted man's closest ally Ivankov that he was Dragon's son, Ivankov's brain started working. From Luffy being a supernova to him showcasing one of the greatest shows of whales in the entire series of One Piece, and when Luffy tells Ivankov he was born in the East Blue, it's all put itself together, of course, because Dragon used to always stare off towards the Eastern Seas, and Ivankov used to question it. And Dragon would tell Ivankov not to dig into his past, and Ivankov says one other thing. Yes, that's right. That really made me interested in seeing Monkey D. Dragon showcase his power. When Ivankov thought Ace being Luffy's brother also meant Ace was the son of Dragon, that only pushed Ivankov to help Luffy's free Ace, but also questioned why the world government would want to the wrath of Whitebeard and Dragon. So Ivankov is comparing the power of Dragon to the world's strongest man. We already know Dragon's bounty should be a little bit higher than Whitebeard. So yeah, Dragon's hype train was a go for me through Ivankov's words during Impel Down. We had Garp recently showcase some insane level of hockey, but we always knew this since Marineford when he commented on Luffy's Conqueror's Haki, saying he was also born with it, which in my opinion confirms Monkey D. Dragon having Conqueror's Haki, with of course the Wano arc elevating Conqueror's Haki to coding your attacks with Divine Departure from both Roger and Shanks, some of the best Conquerors in the story. I could make an educated guess that Dragon's Haki is next level, with even Sabo showcasing advancement of Armor Haki during Dressrosa. The sky's the limit on what Oda brings out of the Dragon Haki pool, and with Joy Boy changed the landscape of Haki by of course storing it, it looks like the story is going towards Haki Blast, like the Wind Blast we saw Dragon do versus Smoker, and with Imu having PTSD from Joy Boy's Haki, Dragon doing something on the same level of Joy Boy will definitely trigger Nerona Imu. We even had a Vice Admiral Doberman who's currently on Egghead Island, coincidentally, mentioned during the Marineford War that Luffy being Dragon's son is no surprise of him having Conqueror's Haki. Even Ivankov said there's no mistaking Luffy having Dragon's blood after using Conqueror's Haki. So yeah, that's a little bit more confirmation that Dragon is a Conqueror's Haki coding user. Sabo saying he was ashamed to be born a noble really shocked Dragon, who said, "See what you have done, driven this innocent child to say," when speaking of the Goa Kingdom, and if you look deeper, the world government. But Dragon has no power back then to change anything. So to see Sabo return from witnessing the monsters who caused all this hardship, and Saturn, who said Kuma was born to suffer for being a Buccaneer race, it really makes you excited to see any dialogue from Dragon to Imu in the past and future, because we know their ideologies are completely different. Monkey D. Dragon tells Sabo it's finally time to declare war on the Celestial Dragons, meaning he has confidence he can take down not only Akainu, Kizaru, Fujitora, and Green Bull, the monsters of the marine, but also the Holy Knights that were recently introduced, and of course the Gorosei, which were dominating Egghead Island, and of course last but certainly not least, Imu. That's right, he screams the strongest in the verse. The way he injured Sabo, who's at top tier in the One Piece verse, but I may be jumping the gun, but Imu looks to be the strongest right now, so that's definitely a lot of confidence from Monkey D. Dragon. Dragon even stated he wouldn't forgive Sabo if he actually killed Cobra. Mind you, doing this helped the cause, but Dragon was adamant on not forgiving Sabo, his chief of staff, who was helping his revolution more than anybody on his squad. So my theory is he knows of the Alabasta Kingdom going against the allied 20 kingdoms of the Void Century, and also him knowing, of course, that the Willie D initial and how Lily is connected to both Nerona Imu and of course Joy Boy, whose son Luffy inherited his will. All in all, Dragon is acting dumb in my opinion on what he truly knows, and when Oda truly realizes, not really realizes, truly reveals what Dragon knows, the fandom will go nuts. Chapter 1064 also confirmed my suspicions when Shaka told Dragon he was gonna die, and Dragon said, "Don't say that." That current line of communication guaranteed to me that Vegapunk message was probably already personally told to Dragon in the past. We even see Dragon at 33 years old speaking to Vegapunk, who was 43 years old, at the aftermath of Ohara, talking about long time no see. So they go way back. Dragon even offered Vegapunk a position with the Freedom Fighters, but he denied to work for the world government because Dragon was broke, and Dragon was extremely mad about this. And of course mad about Ohara, even saying he was going to build an army because of this event, And Vegapunk mentioned he hates war, so what's up with this building army? But that's how mad he was. Monkey D. Dragon wanted change, which makes me think Dragon must have really saw something extremely evil. And I think it has to do with Imu when it comes to why he left the Marines. We even see Dragon's emotion heightened, yelling at Kuma to talk to him, and where he wants to go. It seems like Dragon is feeling it, seeing Kuma, of course, as a walking corpse, one of his closest allies in the entire series, who was a buccaneer hunted during the God Valley incident, where, of course, his father and many more legends made a name for themselves. After Dragon apologized to Sabo for letting Kuma leave, Sabo said it's all good. I know you and Ivankov are feeling it the most, of course showing how human Dragon really is, not just because he has a father and a son. Another time we see Dragon showing his human side is him defending his boy Vegapunk from Ivankov's accusations of course, him creating an ancient weapon that destroyed Marusha Kingdom. But Dragon can still go robot mode and deduce it's not an ancient weapon because the world government would have been used it. And that's why I feel like Dragon has amazing logic. And I thought it was pretty cool how we seen Kuma calling Dragon a hero. This is deeper because we know Kuma looks up to Nika. And of course, Mr. Hero himself, Luffy, became Nika and is also the Dragon's son. Of course, talk about a full circle. And we all know Kuma believed that Luffy would actually become Nika and actually change the world before he died. So I thought that was pretty cool. Kuma admits while traveling the world, he asked himself what would Dragon do. So Dragon tells him about Vegapunk, and Kuma admits he was about to give up and says he will fight by Dragon's side once he finds a cure for Bonnie, which Dragon gives a very interesting reply and says, go where the wind takes you. And that's the interesting thing about Dragon. Him not having Ivankov and Inazuma because of Emperor Down, and Kuma because of his own cause, yet he's calm and leads, not by force, but by understanding. He even shows a similar trait to his father when speaking on the younger generation in Sabo and Koala. For some reason, I feel like he has that similar trait to Joy Boy, in which, of course, Imu would definitely hate. And Dragon, speaking of the wind, makes me think his power is wind-based. And if he relates to, of course, Haki with these wind blasts we've been seeing from Joy Boy and whatnot, Dragon's Haki could be heightened because of his Dolphin ability. Monkey D. Dragon had a moment that reminded me of Shanks when he, of course, attacked Use's Kid outside of Elbaf, because Kid was about to kill so many of his people, so Shanks became super cold-hearted to protect his people. Dragon literally threatened Kuma, one of his closest allies, if he continued talking about Luffy, that Kuma should just kill him right now since a parent's kid is his weak spot, giving us the readers also clarity on how Kuma learned of Dragon and Luffy's ties before so many. And I even believe this moment could be foreshadowing of Luffy versus Imu having Dragon be involved. If Luffy almost dies, yes, Dragon will save Luffy again like he did when Luffy ran into Smoker. Also, Monkey D. Dragon and Sabo are the only ones not shocked by Vegapunk's message of them, of course, living on the remnants of the world of the ancient continents of the Void Century. Like they knew or had some sort of hint, and I believe it's them knowing of Imu. And the fact that Dragon is literally facing Imu, of course, in the chapter 1121 iconic panel only makes me think Oda's hinting at this connection right in front of our face. All in all, I do think Monkey D. Dragon will lose when confronting Imu, and the dialogue will be some of the best in One Piece, as is the perfect place to actually reveal Dragon's past, while also letting Joy Boy, Dragon's son, take over and finish the job, inheriting Dragon's will and Joy Boy, the original Joy Boy's will as well, that Dragon started. And if you want to know more about Imu's top up Joy Boy and his power, click this video where I speak on his Haki.